Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I decided to make this quick video because as of recently I've been receiving lots of questions on my Instagram asking me how travel in Italy is going now, when it will be possible to travel, what are the restrictions, what are the rules that apply now. So I've decided to take you through all the things you might need to know as for now in April and May of 2021 about the travel in Italy. So for all countries that are allowed to enter Italy right now, a negative COVID test is requested to be made 48 hours prior to entry into Italy. There are several lists that decide whether you can enter Italy for travel purposes or not. So such list is, for example, list C, which comprises all European Union countries plus the United Kingdom and the countries that are considered equal. However, apart from the test that you have to carry on with you, you'll need to self-isolate for 5 days upon your arrival to Italy. And after the end of this 5 days isolation period, you'll have to make another COVID test right here in Italy that will have to be negative in order to proceed with your travel. So it might not be exactly the best time to travel to Italy. However, if you're willing to do the sacrifice to quarantine for 5 days, after that you'll be able to travel almost wherever you want. Next on our list is List D countries. List D countries comprise Australia, New Zealand, Korea, Singapore, Thailand and some other countries. I'll leave the links in the description box so you can check whether your country is in the list that is allowed to Italy or not. So List D is also allowed to travel to Italy for travel purposes, however have to self-quarantine for 10 days upon your arrival after carrying a negative COVID test with you, and after these 10 days you have to make another COVID test, so you have to decide whether it was the thing, you know. Then there is List E, which comprises the rest of the world. There are also List A and B. List A and B are made of Vatican and San Marino and some other countries that are allowed to travel almost with no restrictions. And List E is for the rest of the world. The rest of the world is not allowed to travel to Italy for travel purposes, so you can travel only for work purposes, study purposes, or health motives, or any other valid motive. So you have to prove why are you traveling to Italy, and you have to be here for specific reasons. In that case, you'll also need to carry a negative COVID test with you and also to self-isolate for another 10 days and to repeat the test after those 10 days. There are different restrictions that apply for Brazil now because unfortunately the situation in Brazil is not very good, as you may know. However, if you're from Brazil and if you want to travel to Italy but you have specific reasons like work or having a partner or a spouse in Italy, you are allowed to do so, and I'll leave a link in the description box so you can check all the restrictions that apply in case if you are coming from Brazil. There is currently a 3-tier system in Italy, so the whole country is divided into zones, which could be yellow, orange or red. There is currently only Sardinia in the red zone, which means that everything is closed and any movement is prohibited. Most of the Italy is right now in yellow zone, so travel between yellow regions is allowed and is quite free. So if you plan on traveling around those regions, you can do it almost freely after the 5-day quarantine. Bars and restaurants are open in yellow regions, however they open for outdoor seating only, so in that weather it might be a bit more complicated. There is still a curfew applied from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. throughout all the national territory, so it might be more difficult now to make late evening outings or stuff like that. But on the other hand, all museums are open, but some booking in advance might be required. I highly recommend you to check anyway whether the museum that might interest you is open or not, because since we are in the yellow zone from this week only, some museums might operate differently. They may not be ready to open now, complying with all safety measures, so check in advance. However, most museums are all open and require you to book in advance. So I've already talked about moving freely between yellow regions. However, if you want to move to orange region, it might be more complicated because a special green pass is required. Green pass means that you've had a negative COVID test 48 hours prior to travel between regions, or you've been vaccinated, or you had COVID in the past 6 months and cured successfully. You have to obtain it here in Italy, so I don't really recommend you traveling between regions because it's quite complicated if you want to move from yellow region to orange region. And anyway, everything is closed in orange regions. Museums are closed, restaurants are closed, so it might not actually be worth it. So, other than that, there are rumors that from the 1st of June, indoor seating will also be available in restaurants in Italy, and there will be new entry policies that might be easier than the previous ones. Other than that, there are lots of promotions for hotels if you book now, even for summer periods, and most of the hotels have free cancellation policies, so it shouldn't be a problem even if you change your mind or something changes in the world, because you know things are changing rapidly now. And if you want to plan your trip, I'll say you can plan it anyway, and you know you can cancel it anytime you want. So as I said before, the red zone as for now is only in Sardinia, so traveling there is basically prohibited, but anyway you can do anything there and you have to stay at home, so it might not actually be worth it. Other than that, the situation in Italy now is quite calm. I mean, of course there are still new cases of COVID and people are still being hospitalized. However, life is kind of back to normal in yellow regions, and slowly, gradually it's resuming being back to what it was before the pandemic. Last summer there were almost no international tourists. However, this summer is promised to be very different because there should be new rules for the entry to the country, and Italy is hoping and waiting for international tourists. So if you are planning to travel to Italy this summer, just try to stay tuned, monitor the situation. However, the good chances are you'll be able to do it. I'll leave all the links in the description box down below, so check everything that you might be interested in and stay tuned. I'll make a new video when the situation changes, or if the situation changes and the new rules will be applied. And as for now, that's it. Thank you for watching and enjoy your day.